For more on this, let's bring in international security expert Jim Walsh. He is also a senior research associate for the MIT Security Studies program. Jim, thanks very much for coming on with us today.
Always good to be with you, John.
So the president is ratcheting up the pressure on Iran, adding sanctions. Frankly, I'm surprised there were sanctions still to be imposed. Is that going to be enough, you think, to get the mullahs to change their ways?
You really raise an interesting point. I didn't know there was much left to do, and it shows that we've done a lot. The U.S. has imposed a lot of sanctions. Now, a new wrinkle was President Trump invoking tariffs. That's a new dimension. But at the end of the day, it's not economic pressure by itself that's going to somehow get Iran to wave a white flag. They'll persevere. You know, sanctions haven't stopped the Russians from its invasion of Ukraine. Sanctions are a tool, but they're not as all-powerful as people like to believe. They are another bit of pressure. But at the end of the day, the two sides have to come to an agreement. And that means they both have to sign up for something where they think they're getting a benefit out of it. Otherwise, there won't be an agreement. And I think there is a space for that, John. But already we see some of the same things being said over past agreements. Do we negotiate about a little? Do we negotiate about a lot? So all those complexities are coming back again in this negotiation.
It seems that the kinds of things that Iran likes to spend its money on and devote its resources toward are the things that the United States wants it to stop. Missile production, ballistic missiles, nuclear weapons procurement, and support of proxy forces like the Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas. It would seem to me that that's going to be a non-starter for Iran, or at least if they say yes to it, they're going to lie about it.
You're a trenchant observer, John. I don't think Iran's going to give up its ballistic missiles. That's its only line of defense. There's no country in the world that's going to negotiate away its only method of defending itself. It doesn't have an air force. Its air defenses are not very good. Right now, it's just sitting vulnerable to Israeli attack. So it's not going to give up the missiles, but there is room on the nuclear file to negotiate. They have not restarted enrichment. They've gone back and tried to refurbish some of the buildings, but not the buildings that were the most sensitive. And so I think there's room here, similar to the agreement that President Trump got in the first term with North Korea, where you sort of have a freeze for freeze. With North Korea, Trump said, you stop long-range missile tests, you stop nuclear testing, we'll dial back the military exercises with South Korea and these other things, freeze for freeze. I think the Iranians are going to insist on their right to enrichment, but they might agree to a suspension for a good long time. And that's where negotiators are going to have to work out something where we get what we want, but the Iranians get what they want. The Iranians can't get zero in this. That's not a negotiation. They're not going to accept it. So we have to find an area that's the most important to us, which is probably nuclear, and then see if we can find a middle ground there.
Jack Keane is, of course, our Fox News military analyst. He knows an awful lot about military options, and he seems to think those are very much on the president's table right now. Listen to Jack Keane.
The whole world sees it for what it is. The Iranian people know it. Everybody in the region knows it. All the American people look at this knowing it, that Iran is absolutely in pursuit of a nuclear weapon. The fact that the president is trying to use diplomatic pressure to achieve an end here, that is a pattern that he has established since he's been president. But I think we're coming down to the reality that the military option is indeed the best option here.
If he's right, do you think that the Ayatollah feels that the military option is going to happen unless the Iranians agree to some significant concessions?
I do think they're feeling military pressure. Remember, they were just bombed back in June when both Israel and the U.S. attacked them. They definitely feel that. They're under the gun, domestic strife. But the U.S. has concerns, too. Will they retaliate and put American servicemen and women at risk in the region? It's very hard to force a country into capitulation. And our military options, we got a lot of military, but what are we going to do? We're not going to snatch him out of the, you know, like we did with Maduro. We're not going to invade and put boots on the ground and keep them there. So yes, we have a bigger and better military, but there are some limitations to what we can accomplish. And that's where the negotiation will go back and forth.
Jim Walsh, MIT. Jim.